Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Bead Haven by Loyal Subs Creations. And today we're going to discuss the different types of semi-precious beads that we have. Now, in one of the last videos, we discussed that beads come in different forms and shapes and sizes, and we discussed in brief about their shape, material, and the quality. I hope by now you've gone back to dig up more information on this, because any information you gather on beads will help you when you buy your beads, or you supply your beads, or you make your beads designs. Now, there are two classes of semi-precious gemstones. Sorry, not two classes of gemstones. One is semi-precious and the other is precious. Remember, we said the precious gemstones are 4 in number. That is, traditionally there are 4, and those 4 are what? We've got our diamond, we've got our ruby, we've got our sapphire, and we've got our emerald. All other gemstones are classed as semi-precious stones. And we also said that gemstones, these semi-precious gemstones, are also made into beads, and it is those beads that we use to do our bead stringing. Now, these semi-precious stone beads, or semi-precious stones that we use in our beading, we can use them in various ways. We can use them as focal points for our beads. Maybe this is a bead necklace. We use only a gemstone as the focal points, or the focal points in the earrings, because they are very versatile, because they come in different shapes and sizes. Semi-precious beads come in nearly every color you can find. That is, every color in the rainbow. They come in every color. And because they are semi-precious, or they are precious, their cost varies. The cost of these stones vary because, as I said before, quality, color, wherever they are coming from, the material, and how easy it is to get them, and so on, make up their price. Now, they are also priced according to the design in which they are cut, because remember we said there are different shapes, so it depends on this design they are cut to. That also can add to the cost of their price. Now let's have a look at some semi-precious stones, or semi-precious bead stones, whichever one you want to call it, and look at their colors and see whether they are accommodated in the rainbow. Now let's look at corals. We've got red corals. Let's look at rose quartz. Rose quartz is pink, very soft, light pink. It could also be milky color. We've got citrine. Citrine is yellow or gold. We've got amber. Amber is also yellow. We've got sodalite, which is blue. We've got lapis lazuli too, which is blue. We've got rhodolite, which is green, or adventurine. Those two are green. We've got amethyst, which is purple. We've got black, which is onyx. Black is not in the rainbow, mind you, but it's a color. And we've got black onyx, and we've got carnelian, which is orange. There are so many others that we have that are semi-precious stones, or precious gemstones, that you can see come out in the colors of as colors of the rainbow. Now, how are these gemstones made? These gemstone beads, rather, how are they made? We know how they get the gemstones. They get the gemstones from the earth, or from the ground, but how are the beads made? The best way to look at how are beads made, or to learn how beads are made from these semi-precious gemstones, is to Google it and look at the videos. It is only by looking at the videos that you will appreciate the amount of work that goes into making a bead, that goes into making a semi-precious bead. It's a lot of work, and it's made easier today because they have instruments. Instruments are bound that are helping to make these beads nowadays. But before, It was all made manually. So you can imagine the price. You can imagine how expensive they were. And as of today too, they are expensive. But I urge you, it's very interesting. I urge you to look into the videos as to show you how these semi-precious bead stones are made. There is one on my Facebook page now. It's a short one, but it will give you an idea of how amethyst bead stone is made from the amethyst gemstone. It will give you an idea. I do urge you to look at these videos. The simplest shape that can be made, the quickest and the simplest, the cheapest, will be if they make it into a round bead. But you know that there are not only round beads, there are different shapes and sizes of beads. So you can imagine, if it's simple but tedious and expensive to make a round bead, how much more will it be to make a different shape of a bead from a gemstone? So I urge you to go back to that and have a look. There is a lot of work in getting a rock, getting a raw piece of gemstone, and then making it into a round gemstone. And that round gemstone I'm talking about is a round gemstone that is not shined, it's not faceted, it's not cut into any shape, it's not shined, it's not faceted at all. Just make it into a raw round stone bead. It's very tedious, very time consuming, and expensive. So how much more if you want to facet the bead, or you want to give it a shine, or you want to make it into another shape? So go Google it and have a look at that. Now the next thing to talk about is how can we tell a gemstone, a real gemstone bead, how can we tell whether they are genuine or they are imitations? Well, I'm just talking from experience. There are a few things you can do. The first thing is that you need to research the names of what you are buying. You need to research where it is coming from. You need to research the seller. You need to do a lot of research before you buy your beads, because there are so many things that go into making a real semi-precious bead stone, or stone bead, whichever one you want to call it. There are so many factors that go into it, and there are also so many factors that go into making imitations. So you have to research the seller that is selling the bead to see whether the person has good reviews, or the company is an authenticated company. You need to research the name of the bead. There are some bead names that will give you an idea of a bead, but the name doesn't really have anything to do with where it comes from or what it is. So you need to research. If you come across new names for beads, you need to research that name first before you say, oh, this is lovely, let me buy this. You need to check. You need to research it. You also need to look for words that will point out things for you, like the word enhanced. What does enhanced mean? It means you are helping to make it, better, or you're helping to improve its quality. So you need to see if you are buying beads and it says enhanced amethyst or enhanced something, then you know that it's been enhanced. There's something added to it that makes it either look shiny or otherwise. So another word to look for is to see whether the bead, whether they say maybe in the reviews or something, that has been treated by heat, because treating beads by heat also has an effect on the color. It could change the color, it could crack the bead. So you need to look at that. You need to see whether the string of beads comes coated in plastic, because sometimes if they are coated in plastic, although it makes the beads more durable, but you need to know exactly what you are buying. Not that they are not good, but you need to know exactly what you are buying, so that by the time you are using them and you want to sell them on, or you want to list your bead, or you want to describe your bead, you will know exactly what you are describing, and the buyer will know exactly what he or she is buying. Then secondly, the description, which tells you about the bead. you need to look at that. That is what the description of the bead should do. It should tell you about the bead. For instance, if a bead says it is man-made, then you know very well it's not natural. Man-made means it is made by a man. So there is something in it which says that the man has had a hand in the making. Man-made. If it is not a gemstone, although you need to know there are man-made gemstones as well. So you see, there's a lot of research you need to do into handling your gemstones. Even if you don't handle gemstones and you're handling gemstone beads, you need to do research to know exactly what you are doing. For instance, let me give you an example. Goldstone. When you hear the word goldstone, you will probably feel it is a semi-precious bead, but it is glass. It's glass. It's not a gemstone. It's glass. Goldstone is glass. It's pressed glass. But not that it isn't good, but you need to know exactly what you are dealing with so that you don't list it as a semi-precious stone bead when it is not. So you need to know. So in summary, you need to know what you are buying, what you are selling, how you will describe it, how you will use them in your jewelry designs, because some beads are not that durable, so you need to know what style you are going to use them for. You need to ask questions. You need to ask questions from whoever is selling and who wants to buy so that you can list your beads properly. So that is what we have for this week. The next episode we'll still continue talking about our semi-precious stones, but I will urge you this week to go back and have a look at how semi-precious beads, stone beads, whichever way you want to put it, semi-precious gemstone, the beads of it, because we use them for bead stringing. I will urge you to go and find out, go and Google the videos and look through the videos, watch the videos and see how they are made so that you too will be very conversant. Sometimes some beads are dyed. They are dyed. You need to be able to learn how to know whether they are dyed or not, because some sellers won't tell you they are dyed, but you need to know if they are dyed or not so you can list your beads properly. So I urge you to go back on this, do a little homework, and then we'll meet up next week. Thank you so much. Bye.